Firstly, the atheists say the attributes are not identical to God and they're not other than God. This violates logic. It violates the law of the excluded middle. But
tradition, this comes into the Maturidi tradition. It can also be taken as neither God nor separable or separate from Him.
Divine attributes.
Right. Okay. So here we have a question by Muhammad Hanif. So he's asking, isn't the Ash'ari relationship a violation of the law of the excluded middle? So can you first define that before you answer?
No, it's not. I mean, the excluded middle proposes that there are two options, logical options, no three options. For example, if something is the case, it cannot be the negation of the case. There are always two options, one case and its negation, one case and its negation. For example, this smartphone is black, its negation is the smartphone is not black. There is no third option. However, usually people confuse this. This smartphone is black, the logical negation of it is not black, not white, okay? For example, if I say this iPhone is either black or white, there are options in the middle. It would be gray or another color. But if I say black or non-black, you exhaust all possibilities in terms of blackness, okay? Because non-blackness include gray, yellow, all the other which are not black, okay? Here, when you say God is not identical with attributes nor distinct, you do not exhaust all possibilities. As I said, they understand distinctness in terms of createdness, okay? So, like blackness and whiteness, there might be different positions in between, which are not excluded by this formula, okay?
Right. David has made a comment. Ash'ari say God is not composed of parts. They assert attributes to God, but don't see this as composition from parts. Attributes are not God, nor are they God, but meanings relevant to God. Yeah,
and
without
the formulation, you know, the Ash'arites give about the link between God and the attributes. By the way, let me emphasize the point. If you show the question back, here the attributes are not God and not other than God. Neither identical with God nor distinct from God. It is not identical with God. This is the rejection of divine simplicity. It is not distinct from God, because if you say something is distinct from God, Gairullah, Gair, use the term Gair, that means it is created in the Asharite tradition or the Maturidi tradition. Attributes are not created. It is also rejected. Therefore, they say you can formulate a relationship between divine attributes and God by considering these two limits. They are neither identical with, God is not identical with attributes, and God is not totally distinct with the attributes. The proper relationship between these two limits is between these limits.
Right.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to show very clearly that it's not a violation of the law of the excluded middle, especially if you're charitable and you actually understand what is being said here. So, when we say that the attributes are not Him, we are saying that they are not identical to Him, which means you are refuting or denying divine simplicity on the one hand. On the other hand, when we say that they are not other than Him, we are saying that they are not, His attributes are not created. They are not things that are separate and distinct from God Himself. So the attributes, the Sunni Muslim position, and not the position of the Kufar, as Khalil likes to represent, is that the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are not identical or are not Him in the text, in the context that they are not identical to Him, meaning it is a refutation or rejection of divine simplicity, and it is not other than Him in the sense that they are not, these attributes are not created and are not completely separable or separate and distinct from Him and His essence. They are subsisting or subsist in His essence. So it is not a violation of logic. It is not a violation of the law of excluded middle. And I'm not the first one to say this. And this is not only an ethity position as well. Now what I'm actually going to do